Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is not the Road Dog BG James. This is the Heel Cast. Hurls is hosting this show, and joining me tonight is the one, the only, Demand Goldberg. What is up?
Oh, I thought you were going to say cute Kip.
I should have.
You blew it.
I did. What's happening tonight, Goldberg?
Not much. I am super pumped for this show.
It's a Friday night. You know, the adult beverage has been flowing a little bit, so bear with us, folks. This is going to be a wild one, I think. Or a shit show, as you may. Anyways, I want to do one plug only tonight. It's going to be very simple. We're going to plug Wrestling with Andre Corbeil. He promotes this show, puts this show on his channel. So please make sure you check him out, because he definitely helps out the Heel Cast, especially when we're not doing this like every single week like we may have done in the past. So please check out Wrestling with Andre Corbeil. That's it. That's my only plug for the week. Let's jump into the news. This week we've had some interesting things happen. Let's start off with Spicy Maki Combo. Spicy Maki Combo. That's what we're going to call this, okay? That's my favorite sushi item. But anyways, Spicy Maki Aito, I believe is how you pronounce her name. What do you think, Goldberg, of Maki Aito?
Oh, man, I think she's the next Trish Stratus. I mean, this girl's got it. She's just everything about her screams superstar. I mean, right? No?
Oh, obviously. She's already main eventing AEW, so, you know, she's got to be the next.
I'm not the biggest fan of women's wrestling to begin with, but that could have been the most cringeworthy segment I think I've ever witnessed. And definitely, at least in AEW history, which is, I know it's only a couple years, but they've had quite a few fuck ups. One on their last pay-per-view with the explosion that didn't happen. And I think this was worse. This was so embarrassingly stupid that these negative words don't even do it justice. And it to me, it wasn't the singing that was so dumb, because I get it. Maybe that's her little, that's her, what do you call it? Her act.
She's the rejected idol? Is that her name? Okay.
So So that's her thing, is singing. And okay, it's funny. Everything's funny in AEW. We know it's all funny. Mm-hmm. But the microphone bopping on the head was was so fucking ridiculous that wait, was it supposed to be fake looking? I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what she was going for.
Dude, okay, so it was the microphone and then the punches and then maybe the kicks after that. Terrible. They looked super fake. I thought Japan was supposed to be strong style. That looked like I don't even want to come near you style. Whatever that the soft style. Like, what the frick was that? I don't understand. It was so bad. So bad. And like, okay, if you go on Twitter, I like to stay off Twitter these days, but if you go on Twitter, you got so many people just hyping her up because she flips people off, and you know, you got all these virgins on there, you know, 15-year-old keyboard virgins, and they're basically hyping her up because, oh, you flipped me off. I love you, Maki, you know. Yeah. And she calls her fans simps and all this stuff.
Right.
It's just epic fail to me.
These fans nowadays, like you just said, they're into the. Okay, did you ever see the South Park episode where they make fun of wrestling?
I have not. I haven't.
So there's a South Park episode where they make fun of WWE, and they turn it into a show, an actual show. There's no wrestling anymore, and it's like all the characters in the kids in South Park getting in the ring, and like Cartman plays a girl who's had like 4 abortions or whatever, and he's like, oh, all my abortions, and I was knocked up by him, and the crowd's getting so into it because it's like they don't care about the wrestling anymore. They care about like the characters and like it's like a show. And then Vince McMahon comes and scouts them out, and he's watching it with like, you ever been to like the opera and they hold that stick with like the two like with like the like binoculars attached to the stick, and they look through them or whatever to get a closer look. Like it's hard to
think so.
it's hard to explain, but like look this episode.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes,
and so that's how Vince McMahon is scouting them out for WWE, and like they don't throw one punch, they don't wrestle at all, and he's like, these kids got it, man. They're the next stars, and like that's what wrestling has become. Like these idiots that watch AEW don't care that she's bopping a fake bop over the head. Like,
gosh.
You're right. They could, she's so cool because she's calling me a simp. Like, give me a fucking break, man.
And she's flipping off the camera. Yeah, her punches were terrible. Her kicks were terrible. Like I thought Japan, like, they basically just shoot.
And that's like the first impression that she's making on an American audience who's never seen her before.
Right. Terrible. It like fell flat. And let's go into deeper with this story because TNT, the network that AEW is on, is apparently not happy about this. They are not happy about Maki Ito. They are not big fans of her. So I think the Maki experiment is about to come to a close, or at least tweaked to a certain level.
I don't think we're going to see her on TV again, to be honest.
I just think like this, it's not working. It's not translating. And, you know, and this gives credence to you over me because, you know, I'm a fan of Kenny Omega as the wrestler character, but his vision of a women's division is not working for AEW.
Well, having 100 Japanese girls in skirts and you can't tell them any of them apart is not. It's not a good idea.
Right. You think WCW would? Okay, now WCW did bring a lot of New Japan women over. They did. I mean, even in 1991, they did. But it was very selective. It wasn't like, okay, we're gonna do 5 of them and throw them, you know, in the main event. No.
But didn't they just had a tournament with like all 8 women and they were all Japanese. Like, who the fuck how do you know who's winning you can't tell them apart. If you're us and you don't know these women, how are you telling them apart?
I can't, and I don't. I mean, we don't mean to make that sound bad, but we just can't. We don't know them. We don't watch Stardom. You know, no. I mean, literally, confession. We just heard of I just heard of Stardom like a year or 2 ago, if that. So,
listen, it's the equivalent of like, let's say, take the face paint off of Darby Allin. And you have 8 white guys who weigh 150 pounds in a tournament. How are you telling them apart? If they're all jobbers and you never seen them before. You can't tell them apart.
You don't. You don't. So
it's funny to me that TNT had a problem with the singing portion of her act. That was their biggest problem.
They didn't have a problem with MJF and Jericho singing, but they had a problem with her singing. Interesting.
Her singing didn't bother me so much as those stupid fake punches that she was throwing.
That was awful. But you know, AEW's had that problem before. Remember the Dark Order on Dustin Rhodes? Yeah. How can we forget that? How can we forget that? Yeah.
They all stink, man. It's amateur hour over there. It's they are an amateur organization with professional wrestlers in it. But they're an amateur. They don't know how to book. It's awful.
It's not hard. It's not hard, but they just don't. Do you honestly think Tony Khan, like, no offense to the guy, he's rich, but do you honestly think this guy has any clue what he's doing when it comes to booking?
He has no idea. And since this is an Impact show tonight, since we're previewing Sacrifice,
right?
Like, let me just say that Tony Khan taking these paid commercials out every single week on Impact, it's gotten old and it's not amusing anymore to me.
Yeah, because there's been no progression.
Zero. And it's been the Good Brothers going to AEW. That's the progression.
Yeah, that's it. And like, I'm starting to kind of understand what some of these Impact fans are saying. Oh, they're just taking the Good Brothers because they want to sign them in 2 years.
Yeah. But the
So
reason Impact, it's starting to look to me like the reason Impact did it was because, okay, when the Good Brothers come out, they say, "Oh, that's the Impact Tag Team Champions." So like if you're watching AEW, you're gonna say Impact. Like if you've never seen Impact before, you're gonna go and check them out because the Good Brothers are announced as the Impact Champions.
right. Well, I just really hope that the Good Brothers are getting paid really well in Impact, and I think Impact really shelled out their contracts for them. But
Hurls, we
there
did a
needs to be
show.
more.
We did a immediate show after that whole Kenny Omega reveal when he won the title and he took it to Impact, right? We did the Heelcast did a show right after that because we were all so excited about where it could go, right?
Yeah.
It's gone nowhere. There's not even like a war between Impact and AEW at all. There's nothing.
No, there really hasn't. It's just been the Good Brothers and Kenny Omega. That has been literally it. And the
closest thing is them announcing that the winner of Rich Swann and Moose is going to get Kenny Omega in the ring. That's it.
Well, if we're going to get to a point where that's going to heat up, then I want it to happen pretty quickly, I mean, let's cut the crap.
Did I lose you? Hurls?
No, I'm here. I just want your opinion on that.
Oh, no, I lost you for a second. I couldn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything you just said.
Yeah, I just think, okay, Rebellion, maybe Kenny Omega wins the title. Maybe stuff starts picking up after that point. Okay, that's fine. I'm willing for the slow burn, but we need something. We need more Impact people on AEW.
Yeah, but we do. Why are there no undercard guys fighting from company to company right now?
And that's my issue right now. We can't just have the Good Brothers every freaking week on AEW. There has to be, if you want this thing to be a true partnership, you got to put some more people on. And I don't know why AEW is not using the knockouts when their women's division is subpar at best.
Watch your mouth when you're talking about Maki, okay?
Main event Maki, by the way. you take that back. But yes, I get the frustration. And then we need to bring up the fact that Magnus did say that some of the Impact wrestlers were saying that the AEW wrestlers came in with a bad attitude. They were cocky. The only ones I can think of were Private Party, and we kind of discussed this, but if that's the case, this is not off to a good start. It's also not off to a good start saying that Sammy Guevara wanted to win the X Division title and then not lose it.
Right.
This is, you know what I mean? It looks bad. So yeah. The optics look bad. I think Impact's just happy to get this, but they need more. They need to bargain for more. They need more Impact guys on AEW. Maybe that happens after Rebellion. Possibly. We'll see. I mean, this is going to be a long-term. I still think it's going to be a trifecta of a long-term relationship between them and New Japan. So I'm willing to let this thing flourish. I don't know what it's going to be. It could be very disappointing for a long time. I don't know. But it needs to be. We need more. I agree with you. If you're an Impact fan, you got to be like, when is Impact going to strike back? Right? They keep taking it from Tony Khan every week. We need a payoff now. We need something. We need Impact to strike back. So hopefully that's going to happen in the next few weeks. All right. So let's go to the next story. Wwe Hall of Fame has announced that they are going to run the class of 2020 and the class of 2021 together. And we kind of already touched on the class of 2020. We don't really need to go down that road, but let's let's talk about the first inductee for 2021, which ended up being Molly Holly. I want to get your thoughts on Molly Holly going into the WWE Hall of Fame. She was also in WCW for a very short run, unfortunately. But what is your thoughts on that?
I mean, I don't really have many thoughts on that. I think she's, is she worthy? Okay, I guess so. I didn't. My problem with her is like to me when I watch wrestling, her biggest, almost the thing that sticks out to me is when she was with Hurricane Helms, which is kind of sad because that's kind of when she was a joke of a character, I guess, kind of. But I don't know. Is she worthy of the Hall of Fame? I mean, how many times did she? She was the champ. What? A couple times, maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
twice.
I remember her. Wasn't she Crash's girlfriend or something and they got married? Maybe. I mean,
do you think she's Hall of Fame worthy?
Because when you think of Hall of Fame, you think of like professional sports where it's like the elite of the elite. And if that's the case, no, she's not. Right. But this is wrestling, so I have to differentiate the two. And you are correct, she was a 2-time women's champion. Okay. 1-time hardcore champion, by the way, which doesn't really mean much, but
that solidifies it.
There you go. You got to put her in.
I mean, you compare her to Mickie James and people like Chyna.
She was a good role. She was a good hand in the ring, but she really didn't have. She got over because she was in the Attitude Era, and you know she had good bookers who could write her into a storyline. But she, as far as charisma goes, she never really had it.
Right.
But I will say she was a solid worker in the ring. So I don't know. I mean, if I'm doing a normal Hall of Fame, no. But if I'm doing WWE's version of the Hall of Fame, then yeah, I think she is eligible because, I mean, you got people like Ivory. You know, Ivory was in there. Jack. I mean, she's probably not at Jackie's level, but she's a little under that. So, yeah, I do think if I'm looking at WWE lens, if I'm looking through the WWE lens, then yeah, she is a Hall of Famer.
Okay.
So, but I always liked her. I always thought WCW should have kept her. I was kind of upset when she left for WWE because it's like we barely got to see her in WCW. So, I mean, do you even remember in WCW?
No.
I mean, she was part of Randy Savage's stable in like '99. So, anyways, moving on. So this is a story that you kind of wanted to bring to the forefront about Joey Ryan, who this guy's a shyster, I'll tell you.
That is the perfect word to describe him. Perfect.
Decides to run this indie show, a charity event for women, and under the Bar Wrestling name, but not claim it's run by him, using AEW superstars. And then word gets around that Tony Khan hears about it and pulls a couple of the AEW wrestlers from the show. Eventually, the show gets pulled, and Joey Ryan goes back into doing his normal shtick, which has been taking nice family photos for the next couple months. But all right, your thoughts on?
I have so many thoughts about this that it's just the whole situation to me it's funny. And I don't mean funny to like the women that he's taken advantage of or whatever he did. And hey, innocent until proven guilty. I don't know what he did. Maybe he didn't do anything wrong. Maybe he's just a creep. But either way, a lot of this is just so funny to me. Like, what did what did he? Let's say the show ran. What did he expect to happen when he came out and made an appearance on the show? Like, did he not think he'd get booed out of the fucking arena? Like, you're dealing with the most. Like, I'm not one that would boo him because I believe in he should have his day in court, and he's not gonna have his day in court because nobody's suing him. I think he's the one doing the suing, which is also funny. But like, what did he? Let's say the show ran and he came out. What is the reaction when Joey Ryan makes his appearance, and what is he wearing, and what is his finishing move?
If I'm Joey Ryan,
Is he
changing my gimmick
and sucking a lollipop? Like, I don't think so.
Probably not. I don't think he's doing the cancel culture gimmick either, because that's what essentially gets him basically retired from the business. But
so that's my first question. And then go ahead.
I don't even understand. I don't understand 2021. Okay, I don't understand how you can navigate it if you're Joey Ryan. If he did that shit, then fine. He's an ass. He's a douchebag. You know, he's a sick motherfucker. You know, whatever. But the dude, like, he should get redemption, right? Like, he should get forgiveness. Like, you can't just blackball him forever.
Right.
Like, he should get the same opportunity that Jeff Hardy got. I'm sorry, he should. Like, if he went to rehab or counseling or whatever, he goes through it and he really means it, he should get an opportunity to get back to doing the profession that he has a passion for. So I don't think cancel culture should be able to dictate when he gets to come back. So if anyone's got the balls to book him, they should do it. You know, but
nobody will do it, but
nobody's going to do it. But I'm just saying, in general,
the shame in it is you're 100% right, and his wrestling career it's over, and the sooner that he comes to that realization, the better off he'll be. Which is a shame because I don't think it should be over. I agree with you, but it's in the cancel culture generation that we live in. He doesn't. I don't see. He's also handled this poorly. I know he's trying to play the angle that he did nothing wrong and he's suing other people and all this shit, but like, it just doesn't look good to go around suing people and then trying to book yourself on a women's charity show. Like, it's too soon. Also, it hasn't been long enough. Like, he kind of maybe should have disappeared for a year or two and then tried to reappear. Like, hey, I learned my lesson. What I did was terrible. I'm a new man now. Or like it's just, it's all been too quick. And like, he's tried so hard on Twitter to make it seem like he's a religious man now that like, it's just like, I'm honestly like worried for this guy's mental health because like, I feel like wrestling was his life. And now like, he's just trying so hard to get back into it. And it's just not going to happen, man. And I kind of feel for the guy. I really do. It sucks. He was an arrogant asshole, but kind of feel for him.
You know, I agree 100%. And it really sucks for him that he's going to have to miss out on a year's worth of stuff. But not a better time than the freaking pandemic, man. Yeah. Like, this is a time where just go silent for a year. And then come out with a a video saying, "Hey, I'm sorry, I screwed up. I was stupid. I did this." Like, just admit your shortcomings, because even if you don't think you'd had shortcomings, you had shortcomings, because there's way too many people that came out against you. Right. So just own it. Take a year off, maybe even 2, then come back and then have a redemption story. That's what he should have did. He is rushing it and he's pushing it, and it just looks. It doesn't look legit, so
he tried to like sneak himself onto the poster. See the reaction he
get. I saw where he was located in the poster, where his picture was. Yeah,
that was right to the right to the right. Like,
dude, that was a pretty good card, though. He had a lot of good talent in there. Like, I'm actually surprised at all those wrestlers that decided to. I mean, okay, they had
they gotta be also they have to be friends with him still. There's no way they all just turn their back on him.
No,
They were personal
I
friends.
agree.
I'm sure you've been to indie shows, maybe. I mean, I've seen Joey Ryan in person like 2 or 3 times actually, and he's friends with all those guys, and his booth was always the most popular, like with pictures and autographs and
Oh,
merch.
sure.
His merch table. So like, I don't think all these wrestlers just automatically hate him now. But
No, I mean probably just the women wrestlers that he screwed over, and that might be it. I don't know.
listen, Joey, if you're listening, which you're probably not, but if you are, we want to have you on, and we want to give you
tell your story.
We want to give you a platform.
Right.
We're probably the only podcast that is not calling you the bad names that everybody else is calling you. So
yeah, because we don't give a fuck. We don't care about censorship and Facebook, worthiness, and we don't care about the damn CCP. So fuck them.
We're behind you for now, but if you don't come on, then
we're not commie bastards. Okay. Anyways, yeah, fuck them.
All right, we're spending too much time on him.
We are. You can confess your sins on the heel cast. It's all right with us, man. Oh man. Anyways. Gosh. Okay. All right. I mean, Christian Cage. We got to talk about Christian Cage because this was kind of out of the blue for me. I mean, I didn't really see it. I mean, it was kind of like, okay, you heard. Okay, there was. I think it was like Friday night before Revolution. You heard rumblings that Christian was a free agent and blah blah blah. But what are your thoughts on AEW signing Christian Cage?
I don't think there's any reason why they wouldn't sign him. And apparently Christian called Tony Khan. I don't know if you saw that, but Tony Khan said that Christian reached out to him. So, I mean, I don't see any reason why they wouldn't want to sign him. But here's my problem with it is to immediately throw him in the ring with Kenny Omega, which they did. It feels rushed right away, and but that goes to the booking, and their booking is awful, and it's almost TNA-esque to bring someone in and put them right in the heavyweight picture.
Yeah, I mean, I remember Christian. He had like a real short mini feud with Team Canada when he first came in, but it was essentially he was facing. I want to say he fought Jeff Jarrett like pretty much right away to win the title, and then he defended it against. I was actually at this pay-per-view, Destination X 2006. No, Destination X 2006. I think he fought Monty Brown. Oh. I was actually at that pay-per-view, but yeah, this does seem very TNA-esque. I mean, AEW's got a lot of wrestlers. Like TNA at that time had a lot of wrestlers, but they didn't have a lot high profile. They had Sting. They had Jeff Hardy for a little bit, but then he went back, So they had a lot of the homegrown guys, but AEW seems to have a lot of guys that probably could be pushed into that spot before Christian Cage. So I'd imagine that can't sit too well with some people in the back, but
it's important for them to make sure Adam Page is fooling around with the Dark Order. I mean, it's very important.
Mm-hmm. No Kenny, Adam Page, Pac. I mean, Pac's another guy who I'm a big fan of Pac. I don't know what it is, but
at least he's getting a tag title shot now. So
he is. That is nice. That is nice. But I like when he became a free agent, I was like, Impact should have done everything they could to sign that guy. But
also, like, I'm not saying Christian shouldn't be in a heavyweight picture because to me, I still see him as TNA Christian. I mean, he looks phenomenal, so I still see him as a top guy. But you don't need to bring him right in and have him immediately. Like, this is why people don't like Goldberg anymore, because he comes in and just gets title shots. Like, you gotta come in and earn your stripes in the company. Like, beat someone up. Have a little feud. Like, what happened to feuds? Like, have some like a month-long feud with somebody or something. Like, We need some storylines, not just every week something different.
Well, yeah, I mean, what is? I mean, you could have so many different feuds with Christian Cage right now besides Kenny Omega, but yet they chose Kenny Omega right away. I mean, Christian is a solid talent. Don't get me wrong. He's a guy that can, he can main event. For TNA,
honestly,
he was a main eventer,
but
no
he
question.
could come in and feud with. I know MJF's got his angle now with Jericho, but the Canadian thing, like Christian could have come in and feuded with Jericho. That would have been a nice.
They could have relived that. Yeah.
Yeah.
They could have put that right back in there. Yep. I agree.
That would have been good, and then move on to Omega.
Exactly.
Whatever.
Well, I mean, let's talk about the Giant too, because I think we want to talk about him, Paul White, not being like the way they introduced him to be like commentator. I mean, I don't know what. Okay, I guess I should say I don't know what this guy wants to do, but it was announced that he was going to get back in the ring, right? Like, I did see that, or was that not officially stated?
No. I saw that too.
Okay. I don't know about you, but if I'm getting my hands on the Giant, I'm freaking debuting him as a surprise, and I'm having him chokeslam somebody.
Oh, just like when he made his WWE debut.
Yeah, against Stone Cold. Yeah.
Yeah. And came in, have him come in, walk to the ring, and fucking chokeslam somebody. That's a debut. Listen,
WCW. He was Andre the Giant's son, right? That was his.
Yeah. Like, Sting's debut in AEW was good because one, it was completely unexpected. The way they did it, even though now they've overdone his entrance because he comes out every week and just gets interviewed by Tony Schiavone and the same bullshit every single week. But the way they did it with the snow and the lights went out or whatever, like that was a good debut for him. It was completely shocking to announce the Giant prior to him being on the show. The fuck, like let him come out as a surprise. And then immediately say, "Oh, I'm bringing somebody else in." Okay, like now we don't care that you're here anymore. Let's just be concerned with who you're bringing.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense unless the Giant, like, okay, so if you're gonna right a wrong right here. If I'm booking this show, then I'm having Giant come out there, chokeslam Christian Cage, screw him out of that title, because
that would be cool.
That's the only way that you could salvage this, dude. Me and you we gotta freaking own our own wrestling company, man. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I got so many ideas.
We could
much better than what I'm seeing on TV.
We'll build new stars. You know.
Yes.
We'll be good at it,
dude, and we'll get it done because. We'll come up with some good characters.
Girls, I'm telling you, if you don't watch that company that I keep telling you every time we talk, if you don't watch that tape and show, that is a prime example, and AEW should watch it, how to build stars. They did that in 3 fucking tapings. They were building stars, and they had me interested in characters that just debuted, and it worked. But then again, they were grown men. They weren't 15-year-old boys. So.
I want to get your thoughts, and I don't mean to sidetrack this. We're going to get into Impact Wrestling Sacrifice in just a little bit here, okay? So just bear with us. But I want to know your thoughts on Lucha Underground.
You mean Azteca Underground?
Sure.
The one that's coming back?
No, the show that was on...
you mean the show that...
El Rey Network.
El Rey, yeah.
I mean, it was.
There's an Azteca Underground now. Did you see that?
No, where's that on?
Here, I'm going to send it to you. Well, you have your phone in your hand?
Yes, I do.
This is not WCW Round 2 fake Twitter. This is real.
Azteca Underground. What the heck is this?
Take a look. I sent the picture to you. You can go look at their handle on Twitter. I mean,
followed by Major League Wrestling.
Yeah, apparently they have some kind of partnership with Major League Wrestling.
Okay, so this is like
And they just
basically Lucha Underground, but with a different name, so they don't have copyright issues.
I mean, yeah, and they just joined Twitter 2 months ago, and they have a little preview video. They have a picture of Conan. They have La Parka. So it kind of looks like it's Lucha Underground, but I guess with a different name.
Wow. Okay. Well, Chris DeJoseph, who was one of the main writers, I believe, for Lucha Underground, he was apparently being brought into Impact Wrestling for a possible writer role, I guess. So I think that's interesting. Huh. Interesting.
What was the name of MTV's wrestling program?
Wrestling Society X.
Oh yeah. Do you remember? Yeah. Did you watch that?
Yes, I did. I watched a few episodes. Do
you remember when they had an exploding match?
Yeah. It was actually better than
what AEW
better than AEW's. Yeah, yeah. I remember. I think Six Pac.
Yes,
was one of their champions. He was the main champion at one point.
I think he was the first champ, and Vampiro might have been the first champ. I think it was Vampiro.
It was Vampiro and Six Pac. Yeah. They both of them had the title at one point. So
yeah.
I think Seth Rollins was on there too.
He was. He was a little boy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But anyways. Crazy.
All right.
It is. I just want to get your thoughts. I don't want to get your thoughts on current Lucha Underground. I just want to get your thoughts on like how they were able to develop storylines and how they were able to tell a story and develop characters, because I think they did it really well. But
I think they did a tremendous job at developing. I actually was watching that and I was being introduced to characters that I had never seen before. I don't know the Lucha wrestlers that well, or I didn't at the time. And I got introduced to a lot of wrestlers that I could tell you now all about them, and didn't know them at the time. So anytime you get me invested in people I don't know and I'm tuning in to watch them, I think they did a great job.
Yeah, I agree. So,
and they had good wrestling too. The matches were good.
Yes.
I feel fake.
I feel like AEW is just like living off a lot of these guys' reputation, and then like for the new guys that they do have, they're just throwing them in factions. You know what I mean? Like it's just like there's no cohesiveness to any of their storylines. So I'm very disappointed. I think they could do better. They sadly they do have some similarities with WCW, but here's the difference. They don't have an NWO storyline, so they're not WCW. And I mean, that's the difference. Like, I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't, they need to be a tighter ship. They need to run a tighter ship, I should say. What's your thoughts?
AEW, I think that they're the worst wrestling company out of all three companies right now. I think they suck. I think their storylines fucking blow. I think Kenny Omega sucks as champion. Nothing he does is believable to me. I don't know if did you get a chance to see that, like the thing with Cornette, how they noticed that he's singing all his fucking promos?
Yeah, you mentioned that last week, and I was kind of searching it a little bit, but I wasn't able to find anything.
Oh,
but
God.
I need to see that.
He's not believable to me. He's just not believable. I don't believe him as this mean guy.
Yeah, you got to send me that again.
How about
anyone in the comments when we load this show onto YouTube, please in the comments send me this Cornette.
How about his 69 comment? Is that like was that supposed to be funny? Did you see that?
No, I did not. I've heard about you guys talking about it, but
they made fun. So I guess in the exploding match, Eddie Kingston came out to try to save Moxley. And he laid on Moxley to protect him, and they ended up like I guess in an awkward position, and the explosive didn't go off, but they still sold it as if they did go off. So Omega comes out and makes fun of them and tells what's his name? Oh God, oh my God, Cyrus, what's his name?
Don Callis.
Yeah, Don Callis. Okay. He says to Don Callis, "Oh, Don, 69 me," like making fun of what Eddie did to mock. Like it just wasn't funny, man. Like it fell flat. Stupid. It's not like Hogan. When Hulk Hogan was the leader of the NWO, man, that's heat. When Bully Ray was the leader of the Aces and Eights, that was heat. Kenny Omega's not getting heat.
No.
Come on.
No. Well,
Nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares. Nobody cares, man. Nobody's throwing trash in the ring. He's not really a bad guy. He's just a guy playing. He's just a guy playing a bad guy.
You know what, though? Considering the circumstance of COVID, and we can't have any freaking fans because of the lockdowns all over the place. We're supposed to have a small gathering at 4th of July, like we give a shit what this guy says. Anyways, I don't mind it. Like I don't mind them trying to do something that's at least somewhat entertaining. But you are correct. We need more heat. We need more. We need it to be personal.
Girls, this is how stupid this company is, and I know we're going way long with
because we got to start sacrifice soon here.
This is how stupid this company is. Why? Okay, who would you say has been the biggest heel in this company since it started?
Oh gosh, I'll give the turn of the microphone with Kenny Omega hitting, but
no, Chris Jericho has been the biggest heel.
Okay,
or
MJF,
Jericho's
right?
Right, one of them. I would say one of them because Omega was clean at one point. So I would say it's probably Jericho or MJF. Jericho is supposed to be leading the biggest heel group in AEW, which he has been, the Inner Circle. Why the fuck every time Jericho makes an entrance is the entire crowd and the wrestlers that they put in the crowd in the front row, like Billy Gunn and all them, why are they singing Chris Jericho's entrance song every time he comes out if he's a bad guy?
Dude, honestly though,
is that logical to you?
You know what though? That's a sign of like getting over. That's a sign of actually getting a crowd reaction.
Forget the fans.
Do you think
the fans like the NWO? The fans like the NWO music. The Wolfpack was great, but the Wolfpack was kind of clean.
Well, they're trying to see, and that's a thing of the pandemic.
Wrestlers should be hating. Jericho's beating these guys up, and then he comes out and they're singing.
They
his
should.
Song.
I agree. But I think that was from the COVID stuff.
It's garbage.
That was from the start of COVID, where they couldn't have any fans in the arena, so they had to put the wrestlers out there and try to like make some energy about it. Yes, that's where I think that comes from. It's unfortunate.
It's garbage.
If we ever get back to normal, which I don't think we ever will, I'm sorry, I hate to say it, but I don't think we are gonna. I think this freaking 30% capacity shit is here to stay. But anyway, oh man, I'm getting in trouble tonight, ain't I?
All right, let's go to Impact.
All right, please.
Let me say one more thing. AEW is garbage. That's what my opinion of them. They are garbage.
You know what? I'm getting very disappointed by the storylines. Their roster, they're bringing in some really nice talents, and the way they're bringing them in is just, I don't know. I could do so much better. All right, let's get into the main portion of this show here. We're here to talk about Impact Wrestling Sacrifice, which happens on the Impact Plus app. If you don't have it, go get it. It's a nice option. I like the new update that they did to it. Anyways, you get these free monthly pay-per-views. Well, not the main pay-per-views, but you get these like monthly specials. So tomorrow, Impact Wrestling Sacrifice. We're gonna go run through the card. So let's run through the card. First match: Tenille and Caleb with a K versus Havoc and Nevaeh. Do you like the feud? And then give me your prediction on the winner. You go with the first match. You give your prediction.
I don't like a man in a match with three women. Not worth my
Now,
time. Don't give a shit
I
who
want to
wins.
stop you. I want to stop you because I actually think that this works. This is not the same as Tessa Blanchard
And you go
beating
first.
Brian Cage.
You go
Yeah,
first.
yeah. I'm gonna go first because I'm actually got some things. I think Caleb with a K. This is his best role he's ever had in Impact Wrestling. This is the best Tennille's ever had. This is the best character work that Tennille's ever had. I think these two, I think Caleb adds another dynamic to Tennille. I've been really enjoying this. I believe we reviewed their match at Hard to Kill, and we enjoyed it with them versus Decay. So I honestly, Havoc and Nevaeh are actually like they're bigger women, so they're like this is like I kind of look at like Caleb with a K as like Disco Inferno versus Jacqueline. Like you can actually believe that he could lose this match. So I don't mind this setting. You go.
I
Give
will
your
say
thoughts.
that's a fair point. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
I'm not that's actually a fair point. It's not like Brian Cage fighting Tessa Blanchard. That is a fair point. They are two heavy women. But why? I don't know. I'm still not a fan of a man in with three women because I mean I'm going to be honest. I'm 5'11", 165 pounds. And I'm not kidding. I think in a shoot fight, I could beat Havoc or Nevaeh.
Yeah.
I just
You could.
still don't see. Plus, Caleb is not. He's no slouch, man. He's not. He's not like Caleb in real life would beat the shit out of Darby Allin, would he not?
Oh, definitely.
Okay,
Caleb,
so
I mean, he's got to be 5'10" at least, right?
but he's got some muscle tone.
He's got muscle tone on him, yeah.
He's not like Darby
Tennille's
Allin.
tiny, though.
Yeah.
Tennille is tiny.
I just don't want to see. You're right. He's playing a Disco Inferno role, and I don't like when they do that to guys. But it's I don't know. I guess if it's the first match on the card, it is what it is. It's an opening match. Fine, I don't care. But I just don't give a shit who wins. I think Havoc and Nevaeh will win, but I don't really care.
Okay, I'm gonna say Tennille and Caleb win this, but I don't mind this feud because it was like they were trying to pretend that there was tension with Havoc and Nevaeh, so Tennille was like trying to get her to be her tag team partner. I mean I get it, but I'm gonna go the opposite with you here.
Okay,
but I could see Havoc and Nevaeh winning this though as well, and then I don't know where that leads Tennille and Caleb though, but anyways. Let's go to the next match. All right, so we got the DK versus Reno Scum. This was kind of like a hot-shotted match. They had that 8-man tag. That's kind of where this stemmed from. I think Reno Scum needs to win this. I like Decay. I like Black Taurus, but I think Taurus.
I think it's Taurus, right?
Is it Taurus? But
I think
Matt Striker says
Taurus.
He
I don't know.
Like Matt Striker puts those,
Yeah, he's got
puts a little thing on it, like Black Taurus.
Yeah, he does. We can't do that. We're too white.
No. I mean, dude, Reno Scum, man, they gotta be pushed higher. Like they should be going against the Good Brothers, but that's my opinion. But I honestly, I think Decay probably wins this, but I want Reno Scum to win this. So I'll go Decay to win, but I want Reno Scum to win. Your prediction?
I'm actually looking forward to this match because I think it's going to be a good match. I think it's going to be a good wrestling match, but I agree with you. Reno Scum should win. They're not going to. I think the Decay is going to win, but I would love to see Reno Scum win one match and try to maybe turn it into a few wins in a row. But I think their record in Impact might be like 0 and like 47. So I don't remember them ever winning a match.
I mean, they were like their first run, they were decent.
I mean, since they've come back, I don't.
The second run, it's
Yeah,
not been good.
I haven't seen them win a match, so until then,
hasn't been too promising.
They're big underdogs until
I'll
I see
say
them
that
get a dub.
It's been nice that Black Taurus has been. He's taken the Abyss role pretty well, and he does some pretty athletic moves for a guy his size. So I'll give him that. I've enjoyed his debut, I guess.
Do you think we'll ever see Abyss in a TNA ring ever again, or Impact?
Gosh, that's a good question. He doesn't seem like a WWE guy to me, so I think it's possible.
I would love to see him in the ring again, wrestling,
especially with John. We forgot to mention that John Laurinaitis is back in the main talent role again. So I could see John Laurinaitis being like, "Oh, I don't like this," Chris.
I can't believe that Abyss went there though and never fought, not once.
I don't understand. I really
he couldn't
don't
fight
understand.
AJ. Couldn't fight somebody from TNA. Like,
why did he go to WWE? Like, I thought he just got promoted to, like, him and Sanjay Dutt just got promoted in Impact, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, here you go, WWE's offering you another contract, and then Impact's like, oh, sure,
I mean,
we'll let you out of your contract,
I would. He probably got more money, so
he definitely got more money. We know that. Like, Impact's like, yeah, we're not paying you guys that, so we'll let you go. And
all right, what's next?
All right, next match on the night. Let's go to Violent by Design versus James Storm and Chris Sabin. Who do you got in this one?
But really, was this kind of was a little bit
thrown together
too.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was.
This is not a feud at all. I mean,
but this is why it's an Impact special, not a pay-per-view.
Oh, so you're telling me after all these matches, when we go back to Impact, none of these feuds are going to be feuds?
Well, I'm not saying all of them. Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, there should have been. There should have been something.
This is not an out of nowhere special.
Hey, I love Swingers Palace. You are not going to ruin this for me. I love Swingers Palace. By the way, that was great. That was freaking great.
I have zero negative comments about that. Zero.
Impact's comedy, at least, is actually funny. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I will say, other than Swingers Palace, they've toned down the comedy. So.
Yeah, correct.
A little bit.
Correct. They've gotten more serious.
And I'm okay with I'm okay with that.
I love Swingers Palace. I like that. I thought that was great. But
you know what? Having said that, I think this was another match that's going to be good. I mean, you got good wrestlers in the match, so
this is going to be. Yeah, I think it's going to be really good.
Can Storm and Sabin take another L?
No, they gotta win this, but it can't be Joe Doring that takes the pin.
Gotta be EY.
Well, no, it's actually Diener.
Oh, so Eric Young's
it's
not in
Diener.
Match.
Yeah, he's managing. It's Diener and Joe Doring versus Storm and Sabin.
Yeah, Storm and Sabin are going to win then.
I'll say Storm and Sabin win, and then Diener takes the L.
I hope so.
But Joe Doring is a beast, and I could see this is a tough one to predict, but I'm going to go Storm and Sabin as well because they need to win this.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, so.
But I think it'll be a good match.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's go to. Yeah, I guess we can go to this one. The Hold Harmless match of Eddie Edwards versus Brian Myers. I think this match is actually going to be really good as well. I like both of these guys. This
may be the toughest match to predict.
Has Brian Myers, by the way, I know you were kind of shooting on Brian Myers for a while, the way he was booked, but this guy really hasn't lost much. So
I mean, who's he fucking wrestled? Hornswoggle?
yeah, he fucking fought him for a while, and Tommy Dreamer. He had those two. Yeah, he had those two.
I would be undefeated if I was wrestling them. So.
I think honestly, I'm gonna go Brian Myers in this one. I think he finds a way. Well, I don't know.
Tough. It's a tough one, but I agree with you. Another good match, another solid match.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna disagree with you and say Eddie Edwards wins, but I hope Brian Myers wins. I actually hope he wins, and I want to see him keep getting better competition and maybe being in the heavyweight picture eventually, because that's where I think he belongs.
Yeah, I think this is going to be pretty good, though.
I think his outfit needs to be changed.
Myers?
His attire.
Yeah, I mean, the eye patch thing. Well, is it just the eye patch, or are you talking about like...
No, the onesie. He looks like a superhero.
Even when he wears all black?
It's still a onesie, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but I mean, Bret Hart wore a onesie technically. If you're gonna go that route,
but he was never a jobber ever. So like,
yeah, but blame WWE. You know what? I'm not.
Like
you know
Josh
what?
Alexander wears
Brian
onesie,
Myers.
I'm okay with it. It fits him. It fits Josh Alexander.
But Brian Myers is not the same as Kurt Hawkins. We need to.
Do you know who I look at Brian Myers as, though, with the potential of, and this is going to sound fucking really stupid, but he's big and athletic. He's like Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash did wear a onesie, actually, as Diesel, so.
I was thinking more like Brian Myers is more like Canyon to me.
Okay. I thought, but he's
a big dude.
Was big. Yeah. Everybody was
Canyon
big,
was big though too.
Everybody in WCW was big. So.
Oh yeah. Like,
is Myers Canyon big or is he Kevin Nash big? You think
he's not Kevin Nash big.
Okay.
He's like 6'6".
Okay, then I look at him a little differently. Then maybe the onesie does fit him.
I mean, Nash was obviously a 7-footer. I think if you're going to make anybody in Impact a Kevin Nash, you got to say Madman Fulton. That's your Kevin Nash right there.
And see, I look at him could be like an Undertaker or a Kane type of guy. I know he doesn't.
Yeah, the characters are aligned there.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got Eddie Edwards winning this, and I got Brian Myers.
If Brian Myers wins, he's never going to win it clean. It'll never be a clean pin.
Well, no. I think he would cheat somehow, but okay.
All right, wait, is there a special guest referee or no?
No, I don't know what this hold harmless thing means. What's the hold harmless?
Wait, I thought there was a third guy involved in this.
Well, it's not Matt Cardona, is it? I mean,
that's who I thought.
He was a special guest referee on Impact, though.
Oh, okay.
That was a couple weeks ago, but
okay.
I don't know what the hold harmless. Okay,
I'm not sure.
So let's go. Let's go to the next match. We're going to go with
matches.
X Division title match, which I think this match is going to bring the house down, actually. Ace Austin challenges TJP for the X Division title. I think Ace Austin might win this. I
hope he
honestly think. I think Ace Austin beats TJP for the X Division title and becomes the 2-time X Division champion. I don't see how TJP keeps this, especially with Madman Fulton in Ace Austin's corner. I don't know. That's just my thoughts.
I think it's another good match. But yeah, I think Ace Austin. I think it's time to put a belt around his waist. So I think he's gonna win.
he's a star in the making. But
plus TJP's reign has been boring as all hell. So
I've liked it. I think he's been a solid fighting champion. But
you like him.
I like TJP. I've always been a fan of him, but Yeah, I've got no problem with it. But I think Ace Austin does win this. Rohit, though. Rohit needs to be pushed. I don't care what anyone says.
Well, now he's in a tag team, isn't he?
He is. He is. And I don't want... I'd like to see Rohit and Shira get the titles, but another story, another time.
Well, we'll talk about that when we get to that match. The tag
exactly. Knockouts title. We got ODB challenging Deonna Purrazzo for the Knockouts Championship. I think this is easy. I think Deonna Purrazzo retains. I don't see ODB winning this.
You can't see me right now, but I'm shaking my head and holding my hand over my eyes. This is.
I'm going to take another drink of my Captain and Coke right now, but yeah.
There's absolutely zero reason why ODB should be fighting for the title on this card. There's just no reason. What?
You know what though?
How are you defending this one? Come on.
Who are you going to put when you lost Kylie Ray, Tessa Blanchard, Taya Valkyrie? Who are you going to put to challenge Deonna Purrazzo right now?
You know what?
And then you added the knockout tag team titles. So now you've officially added more titles. You've added more knockout slots. Why haven't they signed Christy James yet? Or why haven't they signed Rockstar Spud's wife yet? They should, because that would definitely bolster the division.
So you're saying ODB is the best available option?
I mean, okay, you got Jordan Grace and Jazz going for the tag titles. Who right now is available to do something? I mean, I guess you could do Tenille, but Deonna's a heel. You can't have heel versus heel. Who's Alicia? I mean, Alicia Edwards?
No.
I'm trying to think like who's available that could.
I pick ODB over Alicia.
I don't think you have anyone, man.
I'm trying to find that picture that they posted of all the women.
All the knockouts? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not. I think everybody's busy.
Maybe Susie?
She's heel.
So turn her back. She turns every 5 minutes.
Yeah. You got that right. You could turn her back and then be. You could turn her back ODB, to Su Yung.
Honestly. So
you know what though? ODB is a legend. Damn it!
She's a legend, but it's over. We've seen it. We've seen this act. She's gonna jump on top of her. She's gonna pound her face in a little bit.
Yeah, she's gonna
smack her boobs and then
smack the boobs.
She's gonna lose. So like
rub, do the headbutts into her crotch.
Yeah, she's not gonna win the match. She'll get over all her little moments, but she's not gonna win.
Honestly, though, their knockouts division, we love the knockouts, and it's still. I mean, it's still good, but it's not. They lost a lot.
Wait, did you say we?
Kylie
love the
Ray
knockouts?
was. Well, I love the knockouts. You don't. I don't. I'm not a huge.
So what about Rosemary?
Oh well, she's doing the decay shit.
So she's not wrestling the match.
You're right. They could do something with her.
Looking at this picture, the only options would be Susie or Rosemary.
How about this? What about if Deonna wins, beats ODB, out comes Zelina Vega, a.k.a. Sarita.
That would be
not
cool.
Sarita. What was her name? Rosita. Her name was Rosita before.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, that would be another name to add. She'd be a returning name too, because she's already been in TNA.
Or Taylor Wilde.
Oh, now you got it. Wait, did I read somewhere that Taylor Wilde got? Did I read that Ring of Honor signed Taylor Wilde?
I don't think so. I didn't see that.
No. She never mentioned what company she was coming back to.
I'd be okay with Velvet Sky or Evangelina Love coming back. Anyone, quite frankly. They need someone in the singles women's. You're right.
Well, I think Velvet's retired. Angelina's still wrestling, but I think she signed with. Ring of Honor. I think
if
it's
they want,
Taylor.
If they want
Taylor
the ratings
Wilde's
to
a
go
big
up,
one.
just have Lacey Von Erich come back, and they'll be problem solved.
No. I'm sorry. Good. I mean, good in the looks department, but super green.
Well, that's what
in the
I'm talking
wrestling.
about. I don't care if she can
Okay,
wrestle.
Taylor
look at
Wilde.
her.
I'm with you though. Yes, Taylor Wilde. I'll be Roxy Laveau. Bring Roxy Laveau back. Okay.
All right.
We've got off topic. We all know Deanna's winning this match. So
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Next match is going to be the knockout tag team titles. We got Fire and Flava versus Jordan Grace and Jazz. Jordan and Jazz. Who you got winning this one?
Well, let me just say that I hope this is not the actual lineup of the card, because I don't want to see two women's matches in a row.
No, I think it'll be. Yeah, I think it'll be.
And this is as
separated.
easy to predict as the previous match. Fire and Flava are not going to lose the titles that quickly.
No, I don't think so either. But how are they going to be? How are they going to be Jordan and Jazz though?
I think Jordan and Jazz are going to end up fighting each other when this is all said and done.
They already did that though.
They'll do it again. We were talking about Impact, remember?
This isn't WWE where we have the same match every week.
It's not. Have we reached? Let's talk about Sami Callihan again.
Well, yes, him and Eddie Edwards. Yeah, I know. I understand that.
Does it not feel like he's also feuded with Trey Miguel multiple times? Because it just feels like that to me. Maybe I'm wrong.
It does. I don't.
It just feels that way.
I know, because he's had the same type of feud with Rich Swann.
With everyone.
He had the same feud with Rich Swann. It's like the same storyline. I agree.
It's the same thing. He needs to mix it up.
Right.
And
I don't like it.
You can't make him clean because he's a fucking. He plays a good heel, but his act is run dry.
I think Jordan and Jazz win this. I don't know why. I do. I think Jordan and Jazz win this thing. I don't know. Have you seen any storyline to like storyline hints to tell you differently?
I just don't think they'll lose the titles that quickly. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. They just won it. I know. But I don't know. Jordan and Jazz seem like pretty tough opponents for Fire and Flava, even though they do cheat quite a bit. So yeah, that could happen. But I'm gonna go Jordan and Jazz. I don't know. There's got to be some surprise at this pay-per-view. So Jordan Jazz. All right, let's go to the next one. We got Good Brothers defending their titles against the New Japan tag team of Finjuice. I'll let you give your prediction.
Okay, worst match on the card. My least interested match on the card, I should say, not worst match, but the match I couldn't give a royal shit about.
Who's Finlay? Is this?
I don't know.
Fit Finlay's son?
I mean, my guess would be no, but I have no idea.
I mean, I know who Juice is, but I mean, I know he was in NXT, but I don't know.
Wasn't there another Finlay in TNA?
Not to mine. Woo, wait.
Wasn't there No, wait. Maybe.
I'm thinking of somebody in Global Impact 2000.
What's this Finley's name?
David.
Oh, then yeah, he is Fit Finley's son.
Okay. Yep. I knew it.
Yeah. Either way, I don't care about this tag team. I don't know them, and they didn't give me enough time to get to know them. You just immediately, hey, title shot.
Hot shot them there.
You're new and you're popular in a country that nobody here knows about. So
yeah.
you're in it. You got the title shot against a team that's feuding with other people in a different company.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not huge on that.
Match makes no fucking sense. I don't know these two. I have no interest in them. Do you care about this match?
Not really. No. I think we're supposed to care because it's New Japan, but I don't really care about New Japan. So how can I care about this match if I don't care about New Japan?
Right.
So Yeah, Good Brothers retain.
Yeah,
No way
pick
they're
Good
losing.
Brothers. Yeah, and I'm sick of it. I'm actually getting sick of the Good Brothers, but I'm picking them to win as well.
Really? You're getting sick of them?
Yeah, they're not doing anything, and it's annoying me.
Yeah.
It's the same crap. Like we've seen this. We've seen it a million times. It's just the same old crap.
Yeah, I suppose. All right.
They're always second fiddle to somebody else.
But they look damn good on AEW. They push them really hard on AEW.
You know what? Give Festus the title. Give him the heavyweight title.
Yeah, eventually that's coming. I think it's coming. I think, okay, so they signed at least a 2-year deal. I think the first year is just going to be them tagging like always, and then I think the second year is going to be them doing their solo stuff. We'll see, though.
You think Festus is going to win it?
The world title?
Yeah.
Don't say Festus. Oh, biscuits and gravy. Gosh, damn it. Okay, all right. Main event, unification match, which I guess is kind of disappointing that they're merging these titles together. Is kind of what kind of what's happening here. Moose going against Rich Swann. We know who needs to win, but does Impact know that?
You go.
I don't think we're getting anything here.
Okay.
The safe bet is just going to be some shenanigans with Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers. I think we're getting a triple. I don't know. Like, can you really have Moose versus Kenny Omega?
Fuck yeah, that's how you build a new star.
Well,
Moose
that would be great.
Him.
That
Moose
would be great.
Clean.
I don't mind. I probably like Rich Swann more than most of the heel cast. So I don't mind him, but I see this thing going as a triple threat going into Rebellion.
I don't care if it's a triple threat. I'd be okay with that.
Okay,
it wouldn't bother me.
Listen,
I may not like Rich Swann. Wait, go ahead. Sorry.
I think he's got great personality and great mic skills, though, for what he lacks in size.
Yeah, so that's what I was just gonna say. I agree with you on that. I don't like him. I like him as an X Division champion, but he's done a really good job, like personality wise, on the mic. His mannerisms are good. He plays a good like baby face. He really does. So
yes,
I think he's done a decent job. But I think I hope it comes to an end. If there is only one of them that's going to fight Omega, Moose better. If Moose doesn't win this match, Hurls, I'm giving up on wrestling. I'm done. He's got to win.
Okay. So if he doesn't win, what about the stuff I said? There's going to be some shenanigans.
I'm okay. Moose better be in the match.
He's got to be in the main event. Okay. Because this feud has been brewing since the end of Hard to Kill. Like, you sent me the clip of Moose just destroying him in the back.
Yeah.
That was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I've actually really enjoyed this Moose versus Rich Swann dynamic.
Okay, but if Rich Swann wins the match and Moose doesn't go on to face Omega, are you not going to be let down?
Well, I'll be let down because I think the way Moose has been booked, it's been a star.
Me and you, I think, have been on this for a while that Moose is the next star in wrestling. Is he not?
He is. He needs to win, but I'm scared because I don't want Moose to just get fed to Kenny Omega. I want Moose to beat Kenny Omega.
But the reason that I think Moose, that like we feel like he's going to be this, like they never gave him the title. Like he's never won he's never been champion, right?
Correct.
So like this has been such a long time coming, and like we haven't seen it yet. We haven't seen Moose as champion. Like they've done such a good job of not giving him the title that it's time to give him the title.
That's why I'm okay if there's shenanigans and they do a triple threat at Rebellion.
Okay.
I'd be okay with Kenny Omega beating Rich Swann.
No,
and then
no. I'm not okay with it. Moose needs to beat Kenny Omega.
Because Slammiversary is like Impact's big pay-per-view. Moose beats Kenny Omega at Slammiversary.
If that's payoff, I'm all in. I'm all in. But Moose is the next star in professional wrestling as a whole, not just Impact. Like I think I really do. I really think he's the next star, man. He's a fucking grown man. He's built like a fucking animal. He can move. He's athletic. He's
in the best shape of his career.
He's Monty Brown, but even better.
Yeah,
I mean,
I can't disagree with you.
And
man.
his mic skills have come such a long way since he debuted. Like such a long way.
Oh gosh, you remember his first debut in Impact, right? You remember what he did, right?
What did he do?
He powerbombed Eddie Edwards on the ringside. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
But I remember seeing him. Like I remember seeing him when I went to Impact shows in Orlando in the Impact Zone, and like he didn't have it then, and like he was close to having it when he fought. Remember when he fought in like who did he fight? Was it Robert Roode? No. Who did he fight for the title? And I thought for sure he was going to win it. This has to be going back like 2 years.
Lashley?
Was it Lashley?
I mean, he fought Lashley once, but
I feel like it was a white guy that he was fighting in the championship match. And I thought for sure that was when they were going to put the belt on him, and they didn't.
Oh, that's a good question. I don't remember him going
I might have
for the world title.
He did. I might have to Wikipedia this one. Let me see.
But Omega, all signs are pointing for him to win the Impact World title at Rebellion. So if that's going to be the case, I want this to be shenanigans at Sacrifice, as weird as that's saying. But if Moose wins, then we have a totally new conversation for next week. But I'm just saying, if this is a triple threat, Omega pins Swan, and then we get Moose versus Omega at Slammiversary with Moose beating Omega. I think that would be great.
Yeah, I just hope in the end that Moose Moose comes out. I want him to beat Kenny Omega. That's what I want out of this.
That would in the end freaking amazing. That would be really awesome. Moose deserves it. He deserves everything that's coming to him. Hopefully. But let's see what happens at Sacrifice, because if we could see what happens at Sacrifice, we have a better idea. If he loses to Rich...
Oh, wait. Yeah. I think it was Austin Aries. I think he fought Austin Aries for the title. He fought Austin Aries at Slammiversary for the championship.
Moose did?
Yes.
Oh,
Moose defeated Eli Drake and became the #1 contender for the Impact World Championship and lost to Austin Aries at Slammiversary. I think the reason I remember thinking that he was going to win was because Aries was on his way out of the company. I thought. And he didn't. Wow. He didn't win it.
Wow. I'd have to go back and
look at it was that. Definitely Austin Aries. That was the match. Congo Kong. Remember him? Good run.
Oh, I liked Congo Kong. He's going to be in the new video game, Wrestling Code.
Is he?
I'm excited to play as him in that. Yeah.
Why is he not in wrestling right now? Did he just stop wrestling?
I mean, the guy's, he's kind of in that plus. I mean, he's 43, 44 years old. I mean, he's not a young guy anymore. Like when he made his Impact debut, he was up there. I mean, he kind of looked like Viscera, kind of. Maybe a little different. We interviewed him. He was an awesome guy.
Really?
He was awesome. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was on. Yeah, we interviewed him. It was right when he made, I want to say he was in his Impact run, and we interviewed him. He was a really cool guy. Love to have him back on. I mean, I was real excited for when he was going to be in the Wrestling Code. Guys like him, like monsters like him, I'd hire all the time.
Me too.
Yep.
You know what's funny?
I know me and you are very similar.
I'm looking up his Wikipedia. I cannot believe what his real name is.
Steven Wilson.
Oh my God.
Yep.
I would never have expected his name to be Steven Wilson.
Probably one of the nicest guys. Him and Marche Rocket. We interviewed him too. Talked about his Impact run. It was good stuff. But
you know what? I'm gonna before we wrap this up. I want to.
Okay.
I want to get. I want to for if we can get people. If we can interview somebody, there's two guys that kind of disappeared off the face of the earth when they left Impact, and I would love to know what happened to them. One of them's Michael Shane, because I thought he was. I was a major fan of his.
Okay.
In the glory days. And
yes.
Jarrell Clark.
Oh, I love Jarrell Clark. Dude, we got to get this. We got to make this happen. No, Jarrell I'm serious. Clark, we got to get Jarrell Clark on.
He was so athletic and what was his name? Mr.
630? Was it?
I don't know
Mr.
how many
630.
I don't know how many turns he did in the air, but
yeah,
630. You're right.
Yeah,
good call.
Yep.
Good call.
Dude, we got to get
630, okay. Man.
That's our goal.
Him and Michael Shane, though. Michael Shane was so good.
He was also called
such a
Matt
good
Bentley
heel
at some point. Matt Bentley,
right.
Yeah.
It was Matt Bentley after Michael Shane.
All right, I'm going to tell you this. Let's let the search begin with those two. Let's see if we can get them.
I think we got a better shot at Jarrell Clark.
That's fine. Let's get Jarrell Clark on. I've had D-Ray 3000 on.
Another guy I like.
I've had Mario Bocara on, I mean, I've had these guys on. I mean, I haven't asked anyone in a while. We got to have another My Impact episode. We really do.
Yeah, let's try to
Chris
get
Harris was solid, but
let's try to get Sharky too. I like Sharky.
Yeah, let's get some of these My Impact guys. But Goldberg, we have a new segment on the Heelcast to wrap up the shows, and this was kind of proposed, and the powers that be liked this idea of this final segment. So this new segment is called the Hurls Hot Corner. And what this is I'm going to ask the panel of the Heelcast a nostalgia question.
Yeah.
And you guys are going to give your honest answer to this question. So we're going to start the Hurls Hot Corner right now. And we're going to ask the question. And I know you did not have time to prepare for this, but do the best you can. What, in your opinion, is the greatest wrestling game of all time? And I'll give you my opinion as well. But I want your opinion first. You have entered the Hurls Hot Corner.
Oh, man, that is tough. Okay. My favorite, or what I think the overwhelming favorite would be...
I want just your favorite. I don't want anybody else's influence into this. It's just you and what you think is the best, and then just give your reasons why. And there's yeah.
Okay. Well, I have my personal three. I mean, I have three personal favorites, if that's acceptable. Let me try to pick one of them.
Can you give like a slight preference to one of them?
Yeah, I can. I'd have to go with SmackDown versus Raw. Was it 2007? I want to say.
Oh, I know this one very well.
I think it was.
I love SmackDown versus Raw 07. Yes, very good game. It's not my favorite, but top 5 for sure.
They had the best general manager mode, and I love general manager mode.
The draft. Yep.
Yes. And I used to create. So this is when I was big into TNA. So I created the entire TNA roster.
Yes.
And in this, this was one of the first games where you start building shows and you design the matches and you decide who you want in the matches. And then they give you a rating and you try to beat SmackDown's rating if you're on Raw.
Yes.
And vice versa. Remember that?
Correct.
So,
oh yeah.
So
I have this game still in my rotation, by the way. I played it not that long ago.
I used to play this game on my PSP. And did you have a PSP?
I'm an Xbox guy, so I don't know portable. Well, I should say I'm an Xbox Nintendo guy. Unfortunately, I'm not a PlayStation guy.
I used to play this game, and I created all the TNA roster, and I remember it so vividly. And I drafted the whole TNA roster. So it was like I had my little war between TNA and WWE. But that was probably my favorite all-time video game, and close second is WCW NWO Revenge.
Oh, jeez. We are okay.
And I'm going to throw in, before you go, because I know yours is going to be great, I'm going to throw in the WrestleMania arcade game. That would be my third.
Oh, wow, that's not one of mine. Not that, you know what, I think I rented the arcade game once when I was like back in 5th, 4th grade, and I know that had to be even way before you. Well, what are you, 31? You 30?
Yeah, I'm 31. I don't know why.
Okay, so you're 5 years behind. Yeah, okay, so you. Okay, well, I mean, it's not impossible, obviously, for you to play that. It's just you would have been probably younger, or you played it at a time when the game's been out for a while. So.
Yeah, no, I definitely played it at the time when the game has been out for a while.
Oh, okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
But can I just say, with SmackDown vs. Raw 7, the Great Khali, how crazy he was in that game, like how good he was. Like, if you have weight detection on, him and Mark Henry and Umaga are like unstoppable in that game.
Yeah. Well, you know what I didn't like though? That if you did a Royal Rumble, was that the game where you can't have more than like 6 guys in the ring at the same time?
Yeah, it's sick. I mean, that's kind of standard though.
That was so bad though. Like, I hated that because somebody had to get eliminated before somebody else could come out.
Yes, could come out, but
I hated that.
But that was like the standard of all video games though, for wrestling video games, until SmackDown WWE 2K 2018, when you could finally had 8 people in the ring now. Wow. So yeah.
All right. So what's yours?
So my favorite video game, and I was really thinking, like, what is the game that I've spent so many hours playing? I'll give my honorable mentions before I give my number one. There's a game for the Xbox that I absolutely loved. It was overshadowed because there was some glitches, but I think the glitches made the game actually more challenging, because a lot of times in wrestling games you kind of get used to the computer and you can beat it pretty simply. But WWE Raw 2 was a phenomenal game. You look at that roster, it is WCW guys, WWE guys around that time. The game came out 2003. So you can imagine it's like right after WCW folded. You got Scott Steiner in there. You got Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair. You got, The Rock, and just The Rock. You got Kevin Nash in there. And then not only that, you get 64 creative wrestler slots. Amazing. And this was the first game where you could download, or you could put a CD, burn the CD, and then use it for your guys' entrance music. So if I want any other song, I could make the whole TNA roster with their actual theme music. WWE Raw 2, it's a hidden gem for the Xbox. It's one that their season, and then not only that, the season mode is so fun. The backstage shenanigans that you can do in there. Check it out. WWE Raw 2, just a great game, but it's still not my favorite. SmackDown vs. Raw 07 is definitely my top 5. I played that so much. WWE 2K14's up there because, I thought it was probably one of the most refined WWE games. But number one, it's not WWE No Mercy, WWF No Mercy, even though that's probably one of the best Aki engine games of all time. It's WCW NWO Revenge. I've played so many hours. It doesn't have the options. It doesn't have creative wrestler mode, but the roster is just insane. It captures everything about WCW at that time period. So,
yep.
It's just, I still play it today. It's just
really?
The roster. Oh yeah, dude, I still got my N64 in my
So do I.
Hooked up to my 55-inch TV.
Now I know what we're doing next time when I come up there. Finally.
Dude, you got beer pong and WCW NW Revenge. So
Did
just
you
a great
play,
game.
Did you play the World Tour one?
I own that as well. Do you want to know how big of a nerd I am about this style of game? I literally just ordered off of eBay Virtual Pro Wrestling 1. It's a Japanese game. However, it's basically WCW NWO World Tour, but like upgraded.
I'm looking at it right now, and I see AJ Styles is in the game.
He's not in the game. This is not Virtual Pro Wrestling 2.
It says Virtual Pro Wrestling.
Virtual Pro Wrestling 1.
Oh.
Look at I'm going to send you a video, and you're going to look at the
Virtual
roster.
Pro Wrestling 64?
Yes. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Virtual Pro Wrestling 64.
It says differences from WCW versus, so they must be very similar. Oh yeah, look at this roster. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yes.
What did you pay for that?
So I got it on eBay from Japan. It was about I think I paid 27 bucks, 26.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you can still get it. Yeah, you can get it.
Taka Michinoku, Abdullah,
Taka Michinoku's in there.
Vader,
Bam Bam. Yep.
Ultimo Dragon, Hawk, Animal. Wow.
Yes, this roster's insane.
Yeah, that is.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the total package is in it.
Do you still have your N64?
Yes.
And
if I bring
game.
Mario Kart, I'm going to retire you from Mario Kart.
Bring it. Don't sing it. Bring it. Anyways, though, I'm just going to tell you one last thing before we wrap this thing up. But so this is a Japanese game, okay? It was basically the updated version of WCW NWO World Tour. If you buy a Japanese N64 game, you do have to have a Game Shark to play it. Or there's another thing you can do. You can buy a cheap N64 like sports game. You have to unscrew the back, put the American back onto the Japanese back, and then put it in your system, and then it'll work just perfectly fine. So
seems like
if you're thinking about getting this game, the reason why I will not get Virtual Pro Wrestling 2 is because they lost the WCW license. That's the only reason I've got Virtual Pro Wrestling 1, because they have the WCW guys in there. Plus, they got Vader and all that, So it's just a really awesome roster that I'm still waiting to get the game. I haven't got it from Japan. It's probably going to take another couple weeks, but I literally just ordered that the other day. So that's why this was my topic in the Hurls Hot Corner. So that is it for this new segment of the Heelcast. Hope you enjoyed it. So Goldberg, before we sign off, any final comments that you want to get through? Are you going to be watching Sacrifice tomorrow? You know what? Yes. You should just subscribe. Why not?
Yes, I'm going to watch it.
Okay,
I was trying to think if I had anything else to do tomorrow, but no, I'm going to watch it.
Okay. I got nothing to do. My wife's going to be out of the house, so why the frick not? Why not? I'm watching it, so it's going to be good stuff. We'll see. I'm intrigued by that main event. It could tell a lot of things where Impact's going in the future.
Yeah, I would say the match I'm interested in most is definitely Moose versus Rich Swann.
Yes. Agreed. All right. That is it for this week's Heelcast. We will be back next week. For Goldberg, for Hurls, we will see you. Goodbye. Have a safe weekend.